awusumKristu or any constructs ezikhona Anglican or Lutheran umoya kaMveli umveli izizwe nezizwe ezikhona emhlabeni uzinikezile indlela yokuphila yazo. Now someone will say we are going into politics. Life in itself is politics.
Sure.
Before kufika umlungu besithini besithandaza sithini yini eyethu ebesiphethe. So now I'm not talking about life, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about a lifestyle plus a custom imihambo yabantu lapho ngoba lezo zinto ababenazo before kufika omlungu izinto bezibahlanganisa nomveli namathongo abo. That is lifestyle. Bebangathathani bayohlala ngaphansi kwendlu ethize kube khona umuntu othize ome phambi kwabo athi ogogo basekhaya nomkhulu basekhaya yibo beba-expanda i-information bese amathongo uthola ukuthi kukhona nengane ethize sikhethiwe lihlale khona likhulume through bona. Ikhaya nekhaya beba nesangoma nogobela wakhona bengayi kaMdluli mina ngibewa kaMakhene ngehlola khona ngoba bakhona la ekhaya abakwamdluli bazazi kanjani indaba zokwamakhene. But ke because of ilento indlela esisiphila ngayo ithonga lihlakaniphile lona isilimo had to find a way to help us. So that is why ngikwazi ukuya emntwini wakamdluli ukuthi ngiyohlola angibonise indaba zethu noma angilaphe angazazi indaba zakithi kodwa abakwamakhene nabakwaThwala bayakwazi ukukhuluma naye because there's a communication bese ngeba right. So that is a lifestyle yabantu. There's no religion in that. So basically what I am saying is zibheke wena uzoyithola indlela yokuphila. So ukuzibheka wena ukuthi abakwamaduna bathi bebahamba bahlalaphi benza njani just nje going there. You can still choose to be a Muslim and a Christian and konke. That is a choice. Kodwa when it comes to the crunch, who are you? Ngoba awukazi ungene Vatican. And most probably for every Christian in their lifetime abekho abahlala nomupapa bambheke babuza nosikristu ukuthi ngempela kanje elento lena le kukubla laba bakhona ama-Muslim abantu bethu bafike lapho bafike bahlale bathola ingqumuka in a lifetime. Many of them they don't, but abakhethiwe abafika khona ngoba ngendlela ethize. I'm not saying this in a sinister way. I'm saying this in a very positive way ukuthi kulula ukuhlangana nabasekhaya than ukuhlangana nabantu engabazi.
Yeah.
So instead of me ngiyofuna into engekho kumina, why ngingakwazi ukufuna iqiniso entweni ela kumina engiyona, which is I do not have to subscribe to it. I am it. I am the drum. I don't have to subscribe to it. I am drum catalyst.
Yeah, no, we definitely have to stretch all of these conversations. But also, one of the things that I wanted to talk about now is because at least I got to understand your genesis, your beginning with music, you know, and how it was given to you. But I now need to know, how do you then start playing with bands and, you know, finding yourself now with this kind of a kind of percussion, you know, what's the gig now that opens, you know, everything for you, where everybody now knows? Yeah, I just want to get into that part. Yeah.
It's you know, my journey started at I'm ngisesikoleni ngiyacula emakhwayeni, from emakhwayeni ngidlala kuma-drama majority senza ilento intasike zombholoho. Then that's my ngiyakhula and all that stuff. Then mangiqeda isigele then sengisefunda center. Okay, before ngisefunda center bekwasinye isigele ekhilane town ngenza painting. And then ngangena efunda center, then painting fell off because I could not do painting and music. Then I got to efunda center and remember ulendelmeni umhlanganisi Masuka. Uyangibuza ngishaya orientation lapha sevaya uthi ufuna ukudlala ngithi ufuna ukudlala trumpet. Okay, none futhi you need to choose an African instrument. Ngathi ufuna ngayikhomba drum ikhonga eliphukile ngalikhomba lapha uthi ufuna ukudlala le.
Yeah.
But okay, but then I wanted to play drum kit, so I could not play drum kit because I needed to choose one and one. Funda Center was a blessing to me and everyone that had been there. I wish Funda Center had a longer stay because it would have introduced lots of things. Because the inception of Funda Center then, I think since 1986, mina bengakafiki ke khona. Then mina ngifike later in 1993. Umayiqala bayenza lento lo Professor Skiya Mphahlele bayihlanganisa. The aim of Funda Center was to bring alternative education. Okay. So so it was led by PCM, PCM and PAC, the mentality. And then nangena singangena kuma politics wakhona but asingene kulo mbuzo. And then I get introduced to the contemporary drum, and later a year later, then I was introduced to Ijembe and the technique of Ijembe. And already I'm playing because I've been playing all the other drums, and this is a group of Funda Center. We used to call it Ijembe Marimba Band, and the school group sometimes would get gigs at Sun City. My first check, I got it at Funda Center, 100 rand. Nice. So you change a person a bara. I'm a 10 rand amashe bank. A green fun. Yeah. I was so excited. I thought it green doing it.
Yes, shiny.
I'm a tembo. Lendelina mangoes. So much. Anyway, so now while I'm at Funda Center, my first major gig was Usisibongile Kuman. They were raising funds for the Funda Center, so she did a live show at the Market Theatre, and that was my first introduction to the bigger names, like Usisibongile, Denzel Will, Sbusiso Masondo, and other cats. And then I'm still at Funda Center. While I'm at Funda Center, then now I'm introduced to dance theater. So now I'm working with dance theaters like Abosoto Dance Theater. Then even outside the Soweto, Impact, moving into dance. There was another one based in Middle in Senkohlika Malaya, Khalidi Bakwana. And now I'm being prepared for my band. Because now I'm being made to understand into Ayenza or music. Good. Now, what our institutions do, now people can only go to music. Dance. That is according to this, I'll call it the fraternity of our arts. That is a big sin. You can't do that. Traditionally, it's ingoma yinye. It's the music and the dance. So ngoma, it's music and dance. So how do I go into an institution and learn half of Lengoma? So when I learn dance alone, what about the music? When I do music alone, what about the dance? Yeah. So because they are one, singularity. So now, I'm playing. Now I find myself playing for dancers, and there were other percussionists that were playing for dancers. And those guys, they got fired. Not that I'm proud of that.
I'm
The
proud
only
of that
thing
for you. On your behalf.
So thanks. So the only thing I'm proud of, it was the skill that I had that got me moving forward. I understood that when I played for the dancer. That I did not play so that the dancer can dance to me. There's music, yes. Let's say, that's the music. So I'm playing that music, but still on top. So the dancer is playing on this music, but then there's things that the dancer is doing. Moving forward, AMA changes. Now, if we take it into the music, those AMA changes, playing AMA changes, change AMA chords and all that stuff. I have to move, let's say, Namachi, on whether I'm playing solo. But so it's the dancer or my variations, but I respond to that immediately. I don't wait for them to do something, but sihamba sonke. I need to anticipate. I learned the skill of anticipation there as well.
Okay.
So now later in my music, you understand. As a drummer, you will understand. Uyayizwa le ngoma, uyamuzwa lo mculo ukuthi hayi uyalapha, and the brachtach lento izenza kangene, or the out piano mayithi, because there's that communication seningenile nihlangene. And so dance theater gave me that. Then later there was a show where bekufanele ingene idlale Nkosi the Healing Song kaBaba uMthobi. They wanted to Mabito Bichan. Pramabu London, Upis. Then they wanted to present, who was one of my mentors as well, whom later I joined him go the stage thingy, theater thing called the Campus, which we taught. Yeah. So now they wanted him already. We're Australia here, developing the same play Campus. Then him knowing me, we asked Lanko. He took me by the hand. Bafuna the percussionist, so. And already now I started playing most. Namakonga, ngihambile ngayo Norway, mangibuya ngathenga amakonga kwaba kuhle. So I'm listening to the music already. I'm emulating onke amajita. So it's izinto ziyenzakala. You know, it's like things are. I'm learning. I listen somehow. Indlela engikhule ngayo ingifundise ukulalela noku-emulate izinto and all that stuff. So music, I have never struggle ukuthi ngiphathwe ikhanda to know things. I guess because of abantu engihamba nabo, indlela abanginikeza yona nendlela yoku-understanda ngayo. That is another subject. And so moving forward, ngiyafika da thola hey, it was heaven. All the cats that I watched on television and listened to music because I was collecting music, and I found myself in heaven. That was Pratemba. Prachoni Kongo, Prachabunkosi, Vusikumalo, Fana Zulu, Makoy Mkhubata, Prince Lingwasa. This thing was directed by Usilo Makegangube, and there's actors. It's a cream de la cream, a goalie. Everyone was in there. And ngumampumane ngiyafika nkosana ngisaseyintwana. I'm like, yo, this is. But fortunately, angutlale ngiyafika lapha. Hayi lalela ingoma ngiyadlala. Uprafana, wena son. Where have you been our life for? Wena son. They accepted me immediately. They accepted me, and then I was even told ukuthi told ukuthi amakhonga engidlala ngawo uBravus uzokubasa ke le. So somewhere in the rehearsal, emalangeni rehearsal, I get a call ukuthi ngiyokwenza i-session. So I do Bravus, so Tlale mfana. Uzwenza ngalamanana wamakhomba akho. It's a shit. Oh, I knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
So he was teaching. Now he was teaching me. Good quality means a lot.
Yes.
A good instrument gives good sound, and a good instrument represents you, because it's a life documentation. So our full 10 years later, but but from there, then I got another gig at Germany. Then I bought my LPs, my Giovanni series, and life was different. So I've been so now I'm getting introduced to Lamajita and to Abozim. I lived with Zim for about 2 years. I learned about jazz and changes and all that stuff, and then moved back home. I'm on tour. I'm watching. I'm at DVDs. No, that time I'm a VHS. I'm a VHS. Abo Giovanni Dalco, Abo Chanita, Abo Ayoto Morera, Abo Adama Drama, whom I played with in 1994 from West Africa. All the masters. I was learning from all the masters. The masters that I was learning from since the Funda Center, Abo Gamako Dramas. Funda Center again. What it did. It introduced us to world-renowned superstars. About Jackie McLean, about Salif Keita, about Yusondo, about Morikante, Chucho Valdez, about Reeves, Nat Reeves. All those cats, they would come to Us Alive or Guinness Festival. They would not go back without coming to a Funda Center. So that's what Funda Center did to us. Introduced us to these people. We spoke to them like we're speaking to our fathers and uncles and brothers.
Wow.
So they played in front of us, so we knew.
So that was serious visionary leadership.
It was serious,
Funda Center. I mean, just that whole opportunity, to intercept something when these people are coming here and make sure that they come by Funda Center, just so that obviously because they're trying to open your perspective and then the paradigm, to open, just so that you see that all of these things are possible. I think that was very great. But I wanted to also touch on, I don't know if you remember, there was a time I ran into you, Tlale Makhene, and you said something that really changed my whole thing. I've never spoken to you about it. Yeah. Because I remember those days I was very busy. I think what happened was that I had a rehearsal at 9, but I got there, and when I was getting there, you were coming in. I think, I don't know if you were coming in to book a rehearsal for later. So we spoke a little bit. Faginto Zami, and then I waited a bit, and then later and now I'm coming to my 3rd rehearsal when we're walking in. So you're like, hey, are you still rehearsing? And I'm saying, yes, I'm rehearsing. And I think Besmeno Marilyn, so she says, yay, he had another one at 1, went to baseline and came back. So and you said something, I can't really remember exactly what you said, but I remember the impact of what you said. It was something along the lines of, are you busy, or are you along the lines of impact? You're happy with everything that's happening. And I started thinking about it from that day, because I then got to realize, hey man, yes, I'm very busy doing a whole lot of gigs. And I mean, 3 rehearsals, you get at home, about 11, 12, tired every day. But I never really found the time to work on the things I wanted to work on, and things that mattered. And for me, that whole thing kind of pushed me to songwriting, to production, to figuring out other things. I just wanted to know, because I think for me, I found that it's moments like that turn your whole thinking,
Yeah.
around. Is it something you do deliberately, or is it more a thing that you feel, and when you feel it, you just say it?
What's the question again?
I want to know, Uguti, because you said you did this, and because I thought about it, then I made decisions, after talking to you. So I now want to know, basically, is the things that if are you actively trying to impart something in them when you talk to them, or is it a thing that just comes to your head at the time and then you just say something that maybe you mustn't take credit for, you just said it because it was like or where you were like, hey man, you think about it. Well, it felt like it when we were talking. It was like advice, so my question is, whenever you come across things and people, are you actively giving advice, or is it one of the things that just comes and
I think it's yabona intwana yami my firstborn lo mdala uthi ngelilanga I'm reprimanding him ngithi why uyenza le nto ngithi mphendule you need to answer me. I need to understand. Let's get to the bottom of this. I need to know why uyenzile. But ayazenzakela. So iyazenzakela.
Okay.
So both it's a I think it's a double-edged sword. Some of the thing, I guess, because I'm a teacher, as much as I'm a practitioner, as a teacher, it comes automatic. I don't have to think about it. It's not something that mangifika emajiteni and say, namhlanje ngifuna ukuthi ngibatshele ngaleso khona given what is happening ngaleso sikhathi, things come out. I realized at one point in time, I think in the mid 90s and the early 2000s, when I would say things. Let's say we're in conversation like now, we would be talking about a certain subject, but then in that subject, I'll be saying things, and as I'm saying them, at the back of my mind, I know exactly this thing is not coming from me. It is coming through me, but it is not coming from me. Yeah, but ngiyayizwa nami ngiyayifunda at the same time, and ngiyayazi. And because isikhathi ngiyisho and nami ngiyifunda ngaleso sikhathi. So I'm getting a better understanding of it as much as I'm giving it. So as time went on, you get to understand yourself. I'm this kind of a person. But as a teacher, it is my passion to impart information, to impart knowledge. And away from playing music and all, there is nothing that gives me pleasure and blessings than to give. Because I can, it's either I'm going to use 50 cents, but so what? Knowledge is forever. Knowledge, that knowledge will give you 1,050,000 cents. Right now, I can't even remember what we were talking about then, but I see that day. But most probably, as we are saying it, I know what it was said by me. But the blessing in that, it's what that thing does when I'm gone. So that means it was not me that got you where you are. It was me. I was made this key to give to you, or showing you the door where the key that you are to go to. So that ama-goodies wakho uzwathola kada. So for me, I'm either the door or the key to everybody's goodies. So ngolunye ulimi omunye angathi ngugobela. Basically ugobela akanikezi amathwasa akhe idlozi, kodwa uvulela amathwasa akhe ukuthi idlozi akwazi ukuchannela idlozi labo easier. That's a teacher.
Okay. No, I before ngena some more ufuna ungena Leroy.
Yeah.
Ngena mntu.
Tlale ukuthi lokho amtshela kona. Because now he discovered his right.
Yeah.
And he changed his ways.
Yeah, that's cool.
Going back to knowing your past and being in touch with your spiritual. There's a song you did out on Hill, le yokuqala engathi religious kanje.
Yeah, Ascension of the Light, yeah.
House on the Hill, you did that
song.
Oh,
House on the Hill, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the song, yeah.
Yeah, kukhona let me see. Oh, the opening.
Yeah, the opening song.
Yeah. Ngaqala ngalendele udumo.
Yeah.
And to uyizwa Nkosi. Yeah. So yizwa Nkosi ukukhala kwabantu abakho baba, siziletha kuwe somandla, siphakamisa udumo lwakho mvela inqangi, yizwa baba ukukhala kwabantu abakho baba. What was the question?
I'm not Lengom. Yeah, okay.
Angizwa kahle.
Ingoma le inspiration yini? Like was it the yearning of knowing umvela inqangi, no, or the outcry abantu for knowing the supreme being?
I think ilento it's multiverse in itself, because I guess one of the things that have been given, when I write, especially a lyrical song, I have to write it for it has to give lots of meanings to different people and different generations. But from the front of my mind, one of the things, it's a cry, I guess. Yizwa Nkosi ukukhala kwabantu abakho baba. I think nami ngangikhala at that time as much as isizwe somhlaba sikhala, because to lodge a complaint or cry to, you really need to know who to do it to.
Oh yes.
And I cannot cry about something or complain about something to someone, and to someone anyone, because you could be doing it to your enemy. You could be doing it to someone ongekakusiza ngalutho. You could be looking for help endaweni enganangqondo, but knowing that after trying everything ngendlela yami nguTlale, mase ihlulekile leyo, who do I go to? And how do I go to that person? Okay, in that song, the one other song that I haven't recorded yet, udumo ngolwakho mveli, udumo ngolwakho mveli, udumo ngolwakho mveli nqangi, sibabaza wena wedwa, ngoba nguwe wedwa wadala izulu nomhlaba, nguwe nje owadala uluntu lonke, udumo ngolokho hamba lapha. So now we really need to give praise to the person that is responsible for our being. So now, before I ask, I have to give praise, I have to thank, and then ask.
Okay.
So now, I cannot just be asking. So we basically ekhaya mawuthunya mntana ugogo ngicela ungenzele itiya mntanami uyamenzela ugogo itiya koropa sinama-shows uyakoropa wenzani. But now there comes a time gogo ngicela ukuyodlala because of what you did ugogo uzokukhulula easy. Baba ngicela isicathulo esithize ngicela isicathulo zesikole sezaphela ubaba uzokuthengela isicathulo sesikole aphinda akuthengele nesomswenko. So now it's a bargain. Actually, it's not even a bargain. It's not bargaining. Intshontsho. You see, abantu bathi intshontsho. No, intshontsho likhona angeke kuze liphela because intshontsho yilo leli esiphilisayo. But the biggest intshontsho that there is, uNkulunkulu ulentele umvelincange usinikeze a gift of choice. So in that gift of choice, kukithi ukukhetha ukuthi ngifuna ukumncenga or ngibe kuye ukuze akwazi ukungenzela or ithongo engihamba nalo ukuthi ngilenzele ukuze likwazi ukungenzela leli elingenzela kona. So ukuphahla nokukhuleka kufana nentshontsho because uNkulunkulu angeke aze akunikeze anything ungenzi lutho. So you have to come to them umzali wakho ukuze akunikeze icarry kufanele uzoyicela. And uma uzoyicela lo mali yecarry, that means you've done some things before that ezizokwenza ukuthi makacabanga ukuthi ukunikeze yini ilendele i-5 rand yelento yecarry
akhuthale.
So now going back to that, to le ngoma yizwa Nkosi ukukhala, basically isikhalo sabantu ezweni nesikhalo sami ezweni wherever la bengikhona khona in my life and wherever I want to see or where I see ilendele umhlaba la ukhona khona at that level even namanje ukuthi Nkosi sizwele sibonise sivulele indlela la kumele siye khona, because with the knowledge that as musicians we are one of the most fortunate people that can go into the deep depths of a person's heart la fihle khona izinto zingabonakali, but we get there as musicians and sifike sinyakazise umuntu asmile akhuthale kube mnandi and all that. So those songs there for that basically ezokududuza ezokuphakamisa umphefumulo as much as ezokubonga ezokucela, just to uplift, but it's ngolimi lwasesontweni intercession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yon. Yes, you reminding me of the conversation we had with Eddie Grant when we were rehearsing with him. Because it get very crazy if something disturbs something within the music, and he said something which got me thinking. He was like, hey, you must understand that it's like we are dealing with people's hearts here. It's like when you are on the operating table, there's very little room for mistakes, because that means someone can die or live. It's like it's a matter of life and death. So he was saying that also with us as musicians, this is exactly where we are. Every time we get an opportunity to play music, we get an opportunity to either help this person, or kill the person, and whatever mistake that we do, might push them the other way when you are intending to push them this way. So I just wanted to add it on top of what you were saying, because it just reminded me.
I'm happy that you are talking about that. You know, at some point in time, or sometimes or interviews, I say something in the same lines. No, Baba. But the one thing that we have to be aware of, there's two kinds of spirits. Kunomoya wokukhanya, kunomoya wobumnyama, obobubi. Because ubumnyama, there's nothing wrong with ubumnyama.
Yeah,
but ububi. So mina as a conduit or lendishi ephethe lezinto engiziphethe ngumculo as a musician, I have to choose which spirit do I want to serve. Okay, ile nto le umoya wobubi akuyona indaba yami leyo, indaba yakhe. It's their responsibility, it's their choice. Nami uma ngikhethe indlela yokukhanya, it's my choice. I can only advise you uma ukhethe indlela le short left into mfethu kune cul-de-sac da, and le speed oza ngaso izokubhayizisa because ikari uhamba ngebugatti and la mawufika kule cul-de-sac la mandla ozofika ngawo angeke ubreak, uzongena kulo labona insimbi izosurvive kodwa wena ngeke. So or say try and drive slower, but still you're still gonna get to that cul-de-sac. But when you drive slower, you'll realize the other thing. So why am I saying this? So I really have to choose what ngifuna ukuphilisa noma ngifuna ukubulala. So that means in order for me ukuze ngikhiphe ukukhanya, ngifake ukukhanya ebantwini, ngigeze inhliziyo zabantu, that means mina kumele ngigezeke kuqala. Mina kumele ngibe sekukhanyeni. Because noma ngingaba sekukhanyeni kumele ngazi ukuthi uma ngifika lapha estage mangicala ngivungile ngivula umlomo wathi ngishaya isigubhu, ngicala kuphi, how do I negotiate myself into the hearts of the people? So the one thing that I know, I have to negotiate myself into the hearts of the people through love. So love is the ultimate way into someone's heart, any person's heart. To those who heal ngama colors, they will tell you Gucci, the color of love, it's a bright color or white color. So, but let's not go into colors. Let's just deal with love. So, when I talk about love and the color, so you can move with the color.
Sure.
So now, when you negotiate yourself into the people's heart with love, they do not have a choice not to open for you, because you are talking to the real person. You are not talking to their minds. You are talking to the real them, the real soul in the core. So basically, it's core to core.
Yeah.
It's not mind to core, because a mind is a very tricky one. Ingqondo udoti. Ingqondo is seduced. Ingqondo can do things. Can be sneaky. But if I come with love, because I can pretend to come with love, but then ngizobanjwa.
Yeah.
My figure connect plug it. Izolenga lizota ayikho compatible. Software ayakhambisana. So kufanele ngibuyele emuva. So kumele ngiroute le ngenzeni. So in order for me to get there, I need to go in with love, and so that ngizomukela umnikazi wendlu. Hayi ophathiswe ukuphatha, onikezwe ukuphatha, because the mind it's a caretaker.
Yeah.
Of it's a physical. It's your physical. It takes care of a mind. It takes care of the physical. It's your soul part that takes care of your physical, which is your character.
Yeah.
But umnikazi wendlu, umnikazi walama flat is the soul. So when we get there, we deal with the landlord, not a caretaker. So love does that. So we have to be careful. sifuna ukwenzani, sifuna ukwenzani, sifuna ukwenza kanjani, and all that, and the messages that we are giving to the people. So sometimes I've encountered my showing about because that meant maybe it needed to be so for that person. Abanye baphuma bathi hey Tlale ngingena ngi-short left, at least manje singihambela phezulu uzokushayela. And most probably all of us we have encountered something like that. Yeah.
So Sesizovala, I have two questions. I don't know which Leroy would like to jump in.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, after you.
No, it's okay. You can go.
Just wait. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it further in the future, like 3 months ago. When TED Talks were in 2012. TED Talks, TEDx.
Yeah, TEDx.
I wanted to ask your experience on doing such kind of a show or gathering. We'll see. How was that for you for being TEDx?
Yeah, you know, in the TEDx for me, it was a funny one. Funny, it was great and funny at the same time, because I am thrown into this space that I did not even know what it was all about. I mean, not what all about, but how big it was.
Yeah.
I am told TEDx Soweto, so TEDx says so, right? So so Tlale, you're gonna talk about, bring a subject, and then ultimately you'll play. Okay, then I prepare my delivery speech. When I get there, the guys they did not know that they only knew good things was Tlala, but they did not know good things was Khuluma. So no, I need a mic. But what we are Khuluma Tlali Pel? Hey, sure. Then I deliver my thing. It's beautiful, and then I deliver the music, and it's beautiful. But then I got to understand the impact. Because now I'm getting a malendolena, people asking me, that. Like, huh? This thing was so big, and all that stuff. And for me, it's one of those examples that literally you find yourself on the deep end of the swimming pool. And you don't even know that you're at the deep end of the swimming pool up until you're on the other side and someone tells you. So I guess to answer it shortly, it's one of those events that you treasure in your lifetime as because they introduce you to other things. Because you see them later. It's like you've gone through a forest and you've picked up things, but without knowing what it is that you've picked up. But when you're on the other side, and when you're telling people or people that saw you going through those forests or the plane you're going through, when you look back, you're like, yeah, I can't say ingwenya, but yeah, lo muntu engihamba naye ingwenya, yes. Yeah. And Lungile.
Yes. So my last two questions, but ngizowasha one by one ngoba ngiyacabanga ukuthi azobe inkinga mase ngawahlanganisa.
Kuzoba marathon.
Yeah. So what is your dream for the industry?
My dream for the industry is simple. But not as simple as I would put it. But the problem with simplicity is very difficult. Sorry, excuse. So, one of the things, I would love to see into a mentorship coming back.
Okay.
You know, where we're coming from, I'm not going to say ANC or PS, but Kenya is struggling. PCM and all that stuff. there was this thing yomkhabuliso bebayazi ukuthi sidinga abantu badinga ukhabuliswa igenge encane mawaze something emabuthweni lekithi kangwane sithi kumunyisa every siyadzinga kumunyisana sikhabulisane because without logo we are not going to go anywhere because right now as we stand guys are coming, the younger guys younger than me that you guys are, most of you are coming from school you know and those abangabuye ekoleni isikolo sabo informally there's YouTubes, there's that internet and all that ingqondo zenu they're catching like that and you've got information ninezindlela zokwenza izinto zibe lula than us so in reverse the younger ones this time they are mentoring the older ones but then how do you Nina as the younger ones how do you walk the route that has always been there that us as the elderly have walked?
True.
You've got the tools to travel the present into the future but then you do not exactly so so nathi thina siyazi ukuthi lapha kunjani kuzokwenzeka so but now makwenzeka ngeke kusenzeka ngale ndlela ekwenzeka ngayo before but nina you've got the tools even if iyenzeka ngale ndlela eyenzeka ngayo but you've got the tools to navigate it faster before besamba endleleni sibuza ama directions or isibhalelwa phansi manje sino Veronica usifake efonini uyatshela turn left turn right so that is the future you guys understand it better but then when you get there how do you represent yourself because yebo so lapho or yabona into enjalo so that's where I come in so mentorship so mentorship ilento lena iyaphambili emuva abasha they prepare abadala ibenzela abadala indlela elula ukuthi kuyaphambili and abadala benzela intsha ukuthi inhlakanipho yabo ivuleke entweni emathulusini abawaphethe so that is one thing I would love to see and secondly collaborations Buffett we need collaborations ukuthi like seriously because without that without these collaborations we're never going to go back that is why we do not have our standards South African standards right now that we are still playing abo pata as classical standards abo ntshilo yakhala inkomo it never moved from there that tells ukuthi thina si generation enjani singogombela kwesakhe in this generation we do not want to share we do not want to work together because if ulungile unengoma emnandi ayenzile you know that is collaboration at a simpler level ucompose ingoma emnandi ndirecordile or uyafika kimi ngiyarecord uhlale kunengoma so if ngiyayirecorda leyo ngoma ulungile uya-expanda mina ngiya-expanda and another person uyayizwa lo ngoma and nabo bayidlala iya-expand it becomes a classic
sure
and all that so and now collaboration even in projects and all that stuff and not only collaborating with musicians but collaborating with entities outside finding a way of collaborating with entities outside the music like because it's the vehicle it is business the fact is that the music brings a plate on our table it's a career so we have to expand so in lockdown COVID has taught us to open up and see those avenues so but now my pela we need not fold our hands or go back to where we were we need to strengthen and go forward see isn't about grand and lastly hayi bafethu kumele siyekele ukumonelana iyahlupha lento yokumonelana and icala kancane because yiyo esibambayo ukuthi sinakwazi ukuya phambili because now there's two kinds of ways zokumonelana anti sisebenza sonke So umsebenzi song, it's either vele mina utlala umuntu onomona onenhliziyo echekile, then vele haya yonke into ezenza, even nalento ye-drum catalyst uma yenza ukuthi hayi ubona le ntwana icaba ukuthi grand yona incane kangaka, le mantwana angakhuluma ngama-drum catalyst basho kwacima, yini yona leyo thega angeke ngiyenze le nto, yabona into enjalo. So now that is a typical so that is a typical short left yokumonelana. But now we've got to the other side of ukumonelana and singaboni ukuthi sayenza. Sisebenza sonke as an artist, and sazana, we get to know each other deeper, and we get to hurt each other. Sinabantu noma akuyona wonke umuntu ozongithanda ngalendlela ozongithanda ngalendlela engifisa ukuthi angithande ngayo and all that stuff, or just because I'm good it does not mean the world is good back, it's going to be good back to me. So now I make an example, sisebenza sonke sobathathu kanjena, and ulungile udecide kulento lena ukwenza something and ingangiphathi kahle, and it leads to other things and all that stuff, and sometimes you find that these things are not dealt with, and they grow to be isihlava ngaphakathi. So anything that you will do, noma whether yinhle noma yimbi, especially noma yinhle, angeke mina ngiyibone as ubuhle, mina ngibona wena. So kutayanya le ntwana. I'm sorry to use this language, but I need to use it.
Yeah.
So now we need to differentiate between characters and the works that we do.
Sure.
Other nations basishaya da ukuthi when it comes to what we do as professionals, it does not, even if it spills a little bit into our personal lives, but I should have the wisdom to learn or to say umsebenzi kaLulu umnandi, and I need to support as much as I do not support your character, but umsebenzi wakho makes the whole thing here to phambili. So we need to differentiate that. It's like ukufana nokuthi kumele ukwazi ukuthi ubone umlungu umedelela nomlungu noma racist. Thina eSouth Africa we haven't started differentiating that. Kumbona umlungu umedelela noma racist. So medelela sithi racist, sithi racist. So me racist, you racist and yadelela. So medelela yadelela sithi racist. So those are the dynamics. Basically, away from them, I'm not going to talk about the musicality of things, but to get to the musicalities of things, which our music is the program, we need to find to coexist, and genuinely so. Like lastly, as kids, I always say, our music was South Africa is killed, is continuously killed by progressive musicians / jazz musicians. Ask me why.
Why?
Thank you.
Why?
We have masters, Bomeskan, Bompatanga, Bamahubo, Impoloho, Istatamia, and our folk music. But now, Masay Figagiti, Tina, we are progressive. So as progressive musicians, we compose and we have to take from what is there as well, moving it forward. But Tina, we self-indulge ourselves. It's like a intellectual masturbation.
Okay.
But okwami kumnandi kodwa ngimnandi mina yonke la kimi.
Yeah.
And so we do not want to expand it to izinto. We can rather learn from things that are there, but then not even acknowledge ukuthi sithathephi. And the things that as progressive musicians, the things that we have learned from, it's only it's tools. You see, mawugubha igolide, just because uthenga amalento lena amathuluzi ogubha igolide does not mean ukuthi sowunalo igolide.
Usasenamathuluzi.
Usasenamathuluzi. Usadinga ama-engineers aziyo ukuthi lapha uyogubha kugujwa kanjani, and before kugujwa usadinga abantu abazokwazi ukukhulumisa lelo golide ukuthi likwazi ukuvuma ukuthi lize kulo. There is so much. So we really need to, what was the point?
Hey, ugene kakhulu, ugene deep.
Ugene kakhulu ngayo sesenze ngiyacina. So basically, yeah. So basically, we just in closing, we really need to either come together or crash. Because there is nothing that we can ever do without us without us coming together. And unfortunately, the one thing that we need to understand is we need to create a spider web economy. And that spider web economy, unfortunately, it does not work if we're not genuinely together, because being genuinely together doesn't mean that we need to like each other. I may not like you, but the one thing that we do together makes us live and prosper and expand. So ingamla we think ingamla they understand the business. When they're in business, business, but personal. But when it comes to business, it's business. They understand. You know, wealth. There's a difference. Uma unothile umnotho leyo ilento ilegeso ecreate ngomnotho ayifi. Manjingile to be rich uyalento lelo umuntu ozophuphula kufana nedesk isikhambile. So we really need to go now vele sesikuclosing, and it takes us back to the beginning. Knowing oneself opens the road to the future, because masingabuka yonke lento thina esithi abelungu bayayenza yinto thina esiyaziyo ila in our genes. We just need to remember, because sasenza before bafika sase siyalahleka ke because of whatever happened. It's another topic for another day. But then now we need to find our way back, and fortunately the tools are there. There's books, there's everything, and more than that, we know we've got information. We really need to understand each other and listen to each other. Noma ngabe I have to find a way of listening to you, even if nangazi ukuthi uzanento grand, noma ngabe i-character yakho i-short left, but as long as I give me genuinely ngade ngiyibona, fanele ngikwazi ukuhlala phansi ngulalele sisebenze, but at the same time safeguarding ukuthi masovuka I have to have i-button lakho le-reset. Masovuka i-short left, press i-reset button. Yeah. Ayisasambile madoda.
Hey, asivaleke manje kodwa sekuleyo yokugcina. So if you were to talk, if you were to go back to your 12-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Ukuthi mangene esikoleni so music I'd learn how to play piano so that I can understand the harmony better. But besides logo, I wish if I was a 12-year-old, I wish I would have had a way of understanding and knowing exactly the route how to navigate it. Because if only other decisions I've taken, if only I knew what I know now, I would have done differently. But unfortunately, that is called experience.
Yeah.
You can either experience something in radiation, or you experience ngawe yenzeka kuwe. So unfortunately, some of the things that we go through, it's either as we choose ukuthi zenzeke kithi than ukuthi sisibone ukuthi mazenzeka lapha ukuthi asingafiki kimi, but sengifundile yenzekile uma le kulu so angifunde ngabe ngisaya ngakuthi ulu ibhari ngishaya ngeke ngishaye mina lena so basically, and the other thing, the last thing I would say, if I was 12, I would tell myself again, Tlale, please be patient. Yeah, I have patience, but I have patience now, but then I did not, only because of experience, but then I wish I had more patience. More patience then. Other decisions and things that I would have done them easier and clearer. Yeah.
I think si permessa call. I see it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff here that we went through. I will generally 30 minutes without 30 minutes. I don't think 30 minutes. But I mean, the value is a lot. Thank you very much. I genuinely believe that a good conversation is as great as reading a good book. So it's like we've just read a book right now just by having this conversation. And thank you very much for the time that you've given us and the knowledge. Because again, let's just food says on about the older generation stepping a little bit back and the forward. This was that
because
session.
Because that is very important. I'm sorry, Ulene, because that is very important because a younger generation will always emerge, and the older generation will always grow.
Yeah.
But the important thing is to know as the younger generation is taller, because none is them taller.
Yeah. Step up back.
You don't want to step back. You don't want to step back because that is it's not necessarily a choice that you have to take. Going back, because once you step down, that means you're in Goloi or you're Epotweni with a younger generation.
Yeah.
So now
No.
Yeah. When as an elderly generation or older generation, you move to step up.
Yes.
It's either you step up to creating more jobs for yourself. Now,
yes.
Usuyarecorda usufana noLungile wezizinto ama-drum catalyst producer you move because you need to take care of these guys coming back.
Yes.
By opening the space. So
yes.
Akufanele ukuthi mangomnumzana wekhaya ngitholakale makuhlatshiwe la ekhaya ngitholakale nami lapha sengiyahlinza nabafana sengisikekile ngiyacomplain. Ngisikeke kanjani ngicomplain kanjani bengifunani vele lapha. Ayithi ngihlabile inkomo seyiwile. Sengenzani manje sengitholakala
abasebenza abafana. Yeah.
Let's all step up. Yeah. Jovik.
No. Yeah. Akavalelise naye ubafula. Ngakuvalekisi ngedwa.
Yabonga kakhulu baba.
Kubonga mina sibona audience lapha emva kwakho Mtungu.
Nangomso ngadinwa soloko sikufonela nje sithi hey sesifuna ukukhuluma futhi khona enye question.
Akubenjalo. Yeah. Ubukhona nje ukukaka ukulungile madoda busisekani ke majaha.
Thank you baba.